No heroes. No heroes. No heroes, baby.
Yo, what's up guys, and welcome back to another video here on our YouTube channel No Heroes. My name is Abra, and guys, we are back with another top 32 breakdown. This time online treasure cup No Heroes, and finally 8.5. Yeah, we got some interesting lists with some new cards that are from the new starter deck, ST15 to ST20. We got some new cards like in Blue Doffy, also one list that is Marco, not top 32, but still 7-3 out of 10 rounds, so very good result there. Shout out to Eggman. I saw Eggman 9-1 with Marco. Wow, what a performance. Check that one out, because he did a deck profile there. Very interesting to see, but we will also see a 7-3 Marco deck list, and then some top 32 deck list that I prepared. Saturday there was also an online treasure cup from OPE. Bonnie won that one, very interesting. And Sunday, so No Heroes event, there BY Luffy won. It was Luca from Croatia. You may know him. He's doing so good. There's also a deck profile online, so check that one out. I did a deck profile with him. Yeah, he, in his opinion, a pretty basic BY Luffy list. Yeah, most of the cards are pretty basic, but there's also one card, the Nami, the blocker, from the starter deck 14, that is now, we see a lot of players starting to play that Nami, so interesting to see. So check that deck profile out, and I would say let's hop into the first list that I got for you. Alright, the first list that we see is a top performance. Alright, the first list that I got for you is a 7-3 Marco list. Marco is doing good since he got some new cards from Whitebeard starter deck, some support that we see with the 5-drop Ace. That is very powerful. Let's check his effect out. If your leader includes the Whitebeard Pirate, this character gains Rush. Obviously, with Marco, that character has Rush. And then, once per turn, if this character would be removed from the field by one of your opponent's effect, you may give that character minus 2000 power this turn instead. So, what that means is that if your opponent tries to bottom deck him or KO him by effects, you can just use his effect once per turn and protect him from that. Just give him minus 2000 and you're good to go. Very good card also, and that's the craziest thing. He is a counter searchable. This card seems to be pretty good, and I'm pretty sure we also will see that card in Shanks OP09. We saw some lists playing that card. So that's the first card we see that is new in Marco. And there's another card I will show you right now. Oh, we got another new card right here. It is the 7-drop Edward Newgate. That card on play, give up to one of your leader or characters one rested Don. That's the first effect. Second effect, activate main. You may rest this character and then KO up to one of your opponent's character with a power of 5000 or less. This effect with this leader, with cards like Fire Fist, with cards like Rayleigh, seems to be pretty interesting. Obviously, your leader, Don ×1, activate main, draw one card and place one card from your hand to the top or bottom of your deck, then give up one of your opponent's character minus 2000 power. First of all, that's a pretty strong leader ability you can use by going first or second instantly. That's very good. Also, the color combination for Whitebeard Pirates seems to be really good, because you have blue Whitebeard Pirates and red Whitebeard Pirates. And then you have powerful cards like Pudding, that is always good. You have that one-off Gravity Blade. You have your Searcher with Iso. You have the Rush Aces, both got Rush, obviously. You have one of my favorite cards, Rayleigh, such a good card. You have that 9-drop Sanji, obviously being the main card in this deck, I would say, because the lead ability, you put that you put that Rayleigh or Ace or Whitebeard or what else on top, play that Sanji from your hand, reveal the top deck, and then, yeah, obviously you have 2 very strong bodies on the field for 9 dons. Seems to be really, really good. So this list looks very good. That Newgate and that Ace are some great support. So nice to see Marco is doing good, and I'm pretty sure we will see some more Marcos in the future. So yeah, very interesting. And also, like I said, Eggman 9-1 with that Marco. Wow, what a achievement, what a performance, very strong. Check his deck profile out. Very nice to see. Let's hop into the next one. We got a top 32 Nami. His name was, let me look, Uma. Shout out to you. Top 32 with Nami. But the real thing that I want to say is, we see 8.5 Nami is not doing that good. Yeah. OP8 events, we saw a lot of Namis. Nami being the top 5 leaders, the top 5 most played leaders. In the events, we saw some Nami wins, we saw some Nami tops. This time, the best performance was a top 32 Nami. Still very good, but we see Nami, yeah, not that easy to play in 8.5 because you have Doffy being the most played leader. Not easy that matchup. Purple Luffy gets some support. We know Purple Luffy is not that easy matchup for Nami too. So that's why Nami should be played less than in 8.0. So let's look at that list. Obviously, we see some pretty basic cards that you have to play as a playset. But I want to talk about 2 interesting cards we see. Both are Zeph. One is the 5-drop Zeph that we all know. If you hit 1 attack with him and your opponent take that life, you milled 7 cards. Pretty good. On play also bounce a 3-drop or less and trash 2 cards from your deck. So that Zeph is good. Only down point about him is, yeah, Lucci will easily remove him. Then there is the 3-drop Zeph. I think he was good for the mirror match. When your opponent activates blocker or an event, if your leader is East Blue type, you may trash 4 cards from the top of your deck. That happened on your turn, so also seems to be very good card. And yeah, maybe that one and also this Zeph, so both Zephs are some cards we will see in Nami more and more. But I'm not sure, we will see. But that list made it to top 32, so congrats for that. And yeah, seems to be interesting to see that Zeph again in Nami. So next list I got for you is a top 16 Enel. We saw some Enel players doing really good for this event, and Enel was at the top 5 most played leader place. So wow, that's interesting to see. But there is a pretty interesting and there's a pretty good reason why Enel is doing good in 8.5, because the game plan for Enel players against Doffy seems to be the right decision to do. I saw a lot of Enel players starting to starve Doffys, to KO the board, to control the board. With that leader ability, you are pretty safe if your Doffy is not that fast, yeah. And you play some cards like Rocket Luffy, Nami, Yamato, your Kingdom Come, your Gedatsu, to control that board, starve, play your high drops, and then swing. And it seems to be work out really good. Also, Enel, the matchup against BY Luffy is not horrible for Enel. It is, I would say, a good matchup. Yeah, I would say that. Also, that 8-drop Katakuri is very important in this matchup. So Enel is doing good. Obviously, Nami also gone for the higher seeds, because, yeah, like I said, there are not that much Namis in 8.5 like in 8.0, and Nami was a horrible matchup for Enel. So I think Enel is in a good position in 8.5. That's why we saw some Enels at the top table, and the best one was a top 16 one. So the player was, let me check that one out, it is Sebastian. I think he was from Poland. Shout out to you. Very good work, top 16 Enel. Nothing surprised. 3 Shiroshi blocker. What makes sense, because you need that one against Luffy and against Lucci. The rest seems to be pretty basic. Like I said, Nami, Gedatsu, and the Rocket Luffy to get the control against Doffy. That Nami is also good against Bonnie. So, yeah, pretty good list. Gedatsu, obviously, very important. So, let's hop into the next one. That it is Blue Doffy. Yeah, this one is the most played leader we have, for sure. This list seems to be pretty interesting, and that's what I like about the Doffy list. We saw some Doffy players with some crazy list like that one, and I can say one thing: nearly every Doffy player is playing some different lists. Like in BY Luffy, that example, you have the same list for a lot of players, yeah. But in Doffy, nearly every player is playing some different lists, and that's what I like to see, because people are starting to search for some cards that make a huge difference, especially in the mirror match, or especially in your toughest matchup. And we see there are some cards that are pretty interesting. So this Doffy list was also top 16. It is Georges, you may know him, a very good Doffy player, and I think he was the best Doffy place. It should be place 10 or 11, I'm not quite sure. Should be 10. That was the highest place from a Doffy. Interesting to see that one. Doffy was the most played leader for this event. Also on Saturday it was the most played leader. Yeah, the card seems to be pretty basic, like Jinbei, obviously, Weevil, Sengoku, your Searcher, Moria as a 4-off. That's interesting to see. That 2K law is really good. But let's talk about that 1-offs and also that 2-off Vanilla Moria. That Moria, good in a mirror match. That's why you play him. Also a counter. No effect, obviously, but very consistent. That 1-off Gravity Blade, pretty sure, very strong against Bonnie and BY Luffy. So, in my opinion, a must-have to play that card. First, I was like, okay, maybe you don't need to play that card, but BY Luffy being a tough matchup, yeah, maybe that card should be good against BY. Red Rock, I think you have to play Red Rock to get rid of that 8-drop kit, because nightmares from OPO1. Everyone that starts to play One Piece with OPO1 knows blue against green, blue Doffy against kit. It was horrible because of that 8-drop kit. Back then we don't have cards like Red Rock, because Doffy was also my first deck that I played in One Piece. It was so hard, so you need to get rid of that kit. And there are only 2 cards that help you a lot. One is Red Rock, the other one is Kaido. So we see Kaido as a 1-off. Also interesting, but really good against Enel if he sticks to the board. Really important. That's maybe the main thing against BY Luffy, to have that 12k body to draw 4 cards. Also very good. Obviously your opponent will play on 0 or 1 life at the end game, so that effect will trigger for sure. Yeah, that 1-off Perfume, you have to play Perfume, that's clear. And now, in my opinion, we will come to a card. Mark my words, we will see that 7-drop starter deck Doflamingo more and more in the future. And there's pretty basic, only one real reason. Or no, 2. Let's say 2 reasons. First reason is he's very good in a mirror match, because we all know mirror match Doflamingo so hard to play. Every mirror match is hard to play, but that Doflamingo mirror is like, who see more Juzu Jinbei? Who see more Juzu Jinbei? Always the same. And that Doflamingo, if you go first, your opponent goes second, on 6 Don, plays that Juzu. You just answer that Juzu by playing your Doflamingo. And now, the important part, your opponent cannot get rid of that Doflamingo. Juzu cannot bounce him, because Juzu on play only bounces 6-drop. Gravity Blade cannot bottom deck him, and he's searchable with Sengoku. So 3 good reasons why you should play that 7-drop Doffy. Also 7k attack, very good, and you are protected from that Gravity Blade, that Jozu bounce, really good. So I think to have that best answer to get rid of that Jozu and to have a 7k body for sure in the mirror is Dofi, the 7 drop. So I'm sure we will see him more and more if Dofi will be, and I'm pretty sure it will be, still at the top of the meta. We saw Dofi doing good in Asia, but 4 events, and Dofi didn't won one of them. 2 Blackbeards won, so 4 major events it was in Asia. 2 Blackbeard, 1 was Purple Luffy, we saw on Sunday, and the other one was Lucci. So Dofi, obviously, the most top leader. Dofi has the most top cut. It's the most presented leader in the top cuts in Asia. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we will see Dofi also as the most presented leader at the top cut with BY Luffy, I would say. But I'm talking about OPO9, not 8.5. OPO9 is some different meta, obviously, with some new leaders like Shanks and Blackbeard. But yeah, the main point, like I said, Doflamingo should be a good card. And I think if a lot of players starting to play that Doflamingo 7 drop, maybe players are starting to play that 9 drop Mihawk again, because then you can just bottom deck that Doflamingo. It was like that in OPO1. Maybe we will see that in OPO9, but we have to wait for that. Yeah, but the list looks pretty good. Also, that 2-cost Teach new card, very good. The 2 cards that are the reason why this deck is so broken. Obviously, 4-drop Law, that you may return one of your characters to the owner's hand, and then you can bounce a 4-drop or less from your opponent. So good. 7 Warlord, obviously. Then Boa Hancock, my opinion, the best card in this deck. With that Jinbei, so amazing, so good. The only thing that surprised me is that he decided to play only 1 Jozu. Because in my list, and I'm not a Dofi main, so that doesn't mean anything, but in my list, I play 4 Jozus, yeah, 4. And he's my MVP. I love Jozu, he's so good. And the most Dofi list I saw also played 4 of him. But with that Gravity, with that Red Rock, with that Kaido, Dofi, you don't have space for more Jozus, and maybe that's why he decided to only play 1. He's also not searchable. That's also an important point for him. So, yeah, it worked out good. Top 16 with Dofi. So, really good. Okay. Next list, we have my good friend Ali, top 8. Yeah, really good performance, Ali, there. Also a good player, very good player. He's also a player from our locals. Yeah, he's doing good with Lucci. We see pretty basic list there. That one of Kaido, I think you have to play that one. Also the one of Zombie Luffy, what makes sense. One of Brook, and only a one of Sabo. That's interesting to see that he decided to only play 1 Sabo. But you mill so many cards. If you just get that 1 Sabo in trash, you can pick that one up with Rebecca. I think that's the main reason why he decided to play only 1. And a card that we see back is that Kaku. Yeah, Kaku, the only point to play Kaku back is because of Dofi. That's the only reason, I think. Because then, when you go first, you can KO one of your opponent's character against Dofi for sure, because he will, when you are on 5 dons, your opponent obviously is on 4 dons. Let's say he played out Jinbei Weevil, you want to get rid of at least one of them, so you swing with leader, play Kaku, you're good to go. Also, you can pick that one up from Rebecca. He's CP type, he's a counter, he's searchable. Kaku is good. Yeah, and important against Dofi. Brook 4 times. Right decision. You have to play Brook now. Because he's also very good against Dofi. And also the 2k counter Kaku is back. We don't see who's who in this list. And I think some Lucci players changed their who's who against Kaku, because he's that extra minus character that you have in your deck. Also a 2k, also searchable, because on play he gives -3, so you only need to play that 4-cost Kaku to make -3, and then just swing with the Brook to give -1, and then KO a 4-drop. Also very good against Dofi. And you can do a play like, let's say Rebecca, Then you pick up Spendine, you play Spendine, and then bottom deck 3 CP cards, and then you play that Kaku rested to give -3. You have Brook on the field, you swing with Brook, and then you just KO a 4-drop by only using 4 Dons, and also you play out 7 Dons with that Rebecca, so in the combination with that Spendine. So yeah, really good. That's why Ali 9-1. He told me he only lost his first round, and then after that first round he only won. Very strong performance. Top 8, Lucci, that one. Yeah, congrats for you. Congrats for that amazing performance. Let's see the next list. This is our second place list. And it is Jewelry Bonnie. Okay, let's talk about Bonnie, because I think Bonnie is in a good spot in 8.5. Why? Pretty easy. You have that beast, that monster against Doflamingo 8-drop kit. Oh man, I have nightmares against that 8-drop kit with Dofi. If you don't play Red Rock, it's so hard to get rid of him. That is for sure one of the most important cards against Dofi. So 3 off. Then we see 4 off Carrot. Also against Dofi, so good, but that Carrot is in general a very strong card because it is on play, and when attacking, you can just freeze one of your opponent's 7 cost or less rested character until the start of your next turn. So really good. Yeah, Cavendish, you have to play 4. We still see that 8-drop Rosinante, what makes sense because you have 4, 8, 9. You have 9 5-drops in your deck, and all of them are very important. We also see, that's so nice to see, my MVP, Capone Gang Beige, back in green. Just the one cost blocker that we saw back in the days in Red Green Law. He's back. Why? Pretty easy. You have one more target for that kid. He's very good against Dofi if Dofi tries to rush you out. And a blocker for 1 is always good, also searchable. So yeah, this list seems to be pretty good. Second place, the player was Aurélien from France. So congrats, really strong performance. And yeah, I think Bonnie is in a good spot. noHEROES event, second place Bonnie. OPE event, Bonnie won. So yeah, I think Bonnie is good, in a very good position. Good matchup against BY, good matchup, or with Kit, good matchup against Dofi. I think the only hard matchup is Lucci, really hard matchup. And all other matchups are pretty good, I would say, yeah. So congrats for that. Second place, Bonnie. Only one list is missing, and it is the winner list. It is Luka from Croatia. Deck profile is also online on our YouTube channel. Check that one out. Yeah, he told me it is a pretty basic list. In my opinion, yeah, it is right. But we see some interesting flexibility in that list. And it is that Nami, that BY Luffy player starting to play. Also, Ace is back in BY Luffy. Kuzan is now for sure a playset. You have to play Kuzan. He is so good. Please, guys, just play Kuzan as often as you can. If you can, play 10 of him. No, I'm joking. You have to play 4 Kuzan. He is so good. One of my favorite cards of all time. And I think Hiwoye's favorite card of all time also. In my opinion, Kuzan is also one of the best cards in this game. And I also love all of the artworks of Kuzan. But let's talk about that Nami, the only card that is new in BY Luffy. First of all, for 3 Dons, you have a blocker that is also a counter. Pretty basic, nothing special. Now, the good point, on play, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, and you control an 8 cost or more on your field, we only have Moria, you can draw a card. And that's interesting to see. That's very important and very good. First, you can play Nami, do your combos, play Sabo blocker. You have 2 blockers that cannot be KO'd by cards effect. First important thing. Second important thing, if you don't have that much cards in hand, you just play that Nami out if you have Moria on the field, or you play Moria, Nami, and a little one, let's say Sabo, Luffy, or Ace, doesn't matter. You instantly draw that card. You have a blocker. Seems to be pretty good. Nami is also a counter, so very consistent. She's not a brick So, in my opinion, Nami is a good card. Yeah, maybe the MVP in the mirror. Also good against Lucci. I don't see any reason why that Nami should not be good. We saw Ivankov instead of that Nami when you needs to decide to play what blocker to put in after Sabo. Also Ice Age, Tempest Kick, Zombie Luffy, Finger Pistol, Borsalino blocker. All of these cards are flexible cards that you can play in BY Luffy. But in my opinion, this list, especially with that Nami, seems to be the most consistent list for 8.5. Yeah, it was only one list that I did a deck profile with. And that list was the winner list from Luca here that you can see. And I think that's the list I will probably also test. Because I'm not a fan of Ice Age. The main reason is you only played Ice Age because of that 9-drop Zoro. We have to be honest. And I don't think we will see that 9-drop Zoro in Bonnie anymore. So, in my opinion, Kuzan is enough cost reduce to get rid of the 8-drops in Mirror, the 8-drops against Lucci, the 8-drop or less against Bonnie. Let's talk about Kid there. Let's talk about Cavendish and Carrot and what else. Therefore, Kuzan is enough. You don't need that Ice Age. If you want to play that Ice Age, play it. I'm not the person that will say don't play Ice Age. You can play that, but I will say, I would say, you don't need that Ice Age anymore that much, like in 8.5, where every Bonnie player was playing 2 or 3 Zoros. So in my opinion, this is the perfect list that I will also play like this. Yeah, congrats, Luca. You are doing so good. Like I said in the deck profile, he's one of the main characters the last weeks, in my opinion. Second place in Milan. He lost that final because of one card missing in his deck. Then he topped at the OPA event, top 8, noHEROES event. Just one day after he won that tournament. Then top 32. No, he missed top 30. No, he was top 32 in Utrecht. Also noHEROES event. Then he nearly missed out. He was place 33. He missed that top cut by only one place, so he's doing so good. And he started to play One Piece in, what was it, OPO 7? Wow, what a performance. What a great player. And I think Croatia, you have some good players. You have some really good players. Shout out to you guys. Really good. And yeah, this was the last list. Wow. Breakdown. We are coming to an end for this video. This was the top 32 breakdown. And guys, wow, only, yeah, let me say 3 weeks until Bandai Card Fest, the big event where 2 more players from Europe will fly to Japan to play that final. And then after that event, after that huge weekend that we will have, I will also be there. I hope to see everyone from the community there. Wow, 1 week after that, we finally have OPO 9. I'm so hyped for OPO 9. We see some new leaders like Shanks, Blackbeard, Buggy, Nico Robin, Purple Black Luffy. I'm looking forward to play this deck. So many cool decks, some fresh decks, some new meta. Oh man, I'm so hyped for OPO 9. If you are hyped for OPO 9, let me know that in the comment. Just write it down. What deck do you want to play in OPO 9? I'm really interested to see what deck are you looking forward to play. To be honest, for me, I'm not quite sure. I have 4 or 5 decks that I really looking forward to play, but I need that one main deck, and I cannot decide what deck. BY Luffy since OPO 6, my main deck, but I want to play something new, so Purple Luffy maybe. Purple Black is my favorite one because the artwork, and I also love, he's so fun to play. So this one maybe. Purple Luffy, Blackbeard seems to be interesting. Shanks. Yeah, or maybe I will stay with BY Luffy. Let's see. But I think one of these 5 decks will be my pick. And yeah, let me know your pick. Just write it down in the comment section. What do you want to play? And also leave a like, leave a follow, because you will see some more projects in the future. Some great content right here on this YouTube channel, noHEROES. We are doing some great stuff, but you will know soon. yeah, guys, we see you next time. Goodbye and bye bye.